All right, we are back and we are going to start assembling our muffin cups. So I've got my template right here and I've got my clay slab, which is basically the leftover that I had when I rolled the tray part. Now, this texture does not have a top or bottom. So if you have a top and a bottom on your texture, make sure that you are using, this is the top, make sure that you're laying it down so that it reads right when you make the cups, right? So the cups are going to look like this, muffin cups. And so we're going to go ahead and begin. I'm going to need 6 of them. So I'm actually going to use my fingers and just put the texture on the top here. It looks like I missed a little spot. Yep. And hopefully, let's see, 1, 2, 3, maybe this way would be better. I don't know if I'm going to get, not sure if I'm going to get them all in here. This is 9.5 and this is, yeah, so I'll go that way. All right. I'm going to start way at the top so I don't waste any clay. And if I can find my knife, that would be great. It's hiding over here. Make sure your tools are clean so you don't get any dry clay on anything. And this part should go pretty quickly. Again, hold your tight. I always walk my fingers across as I cut across. This bottom part's holding pretty good. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to cut straight across the top, straight across the bottom, and when I get to the sides, I'm going to give it a little angle cut. Doesn't matter which direction you do your angle, as long as you keep your angle for both sides. Same angle. There's one. Let's see, I'm going to move a little bit of space here, some more space. I'm going to put these guys here. There's one. I'm going to try and get as close. I'm actually going to put my banding wheel underneath this board so I can turn it. Alright, that's better. Now I can turn it. It just makes it easier for me to cut. And, you know, we're going to need 6 of these, of course. If you did the 4-cup tray, then obviously you only need 4 cups. Add an angle. Keep your angle, same angle. Number 2. I might have to, I have an extra slab, so I might have to, these scraps are super easy to use. Oops, ooh, that could have been bad. As long as you keep them wet, you can re-roll them. I'll show you how to do that in 1 minute. Here's number 3. See how easy it is when it's on a banding wheel? It's good. Makes life easier. And then angle. This is number 3. Yeah, for sure gonna run out of space. That's okay. We'll roll out some clay. Okay. If you run out of clay, this is, by the way, the slab that I used is not a was not a 7-pound slab. So you guys probably won't have to roll out more clay. You'll probably have plenty. But I will have to do some rolling. That's number 4. Dang, super close. Yep. All right, so if this happens, all you got to do is move this stuff out of the way first. And you get a rolling pin. Sorry about that. I had to go grab my rolling pin, which I did not have near me. All right, I'm going to get these scraps. I thought I had another scrap, but I could be wrong. There. And if they're a little dry, just give it a spray, fold it in, give it a little wedge. You don't want to give it too much water because it'll stick. See that? I actually have a little bit more over here that I wanted to utilize, so I'm going to grab that also. And this was the same deal. I just put a little water before I wrapped it. It's a little dry, but that's okay because this is the same moisture level as the clay we've been using, so that's good. And I'm just turning different directions as I wedge. There we go. See, I guess we're going to test out to see if Miss Herrera's desk sticks or not. I think it's, so I'm going to switch to a slab mat. That I do have. Yay. All right, rolling it out. Different directions. Flip it. And flip it. And you want to for sure get as close to the thickness of the original slab. So be careful not to get too thin. And we have to also keep in mind that we're going to put texture into it, so you don't want it to get too skinny because it'll for sure get skinnier. Pop and fill. Alright. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave it at that thickness. And we'll prep it again. So now you can see that any scraps that you have left over, as long as you've put them in plastic, and I like to spray wraps a little bit before wrapping them in plastic, you could just keep rolling and keep using until you're out of clay. This should be plenty, I think, for my last, to see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I just need 2 more. Should be good. and I'm using the same texture. Make sure you guys use the same texture throughout. This texture again does not have a top or a bottom, so it doesn't really matter how I roll it. And I might not even need to put texture into this entire thing because I just need 2 more cups. And that should fit. At this point, when I'm doing these ones, I'm not too worried about going to the edge because I'm going to cut it off. So release your clay. And I'm going to get my banding wheel back. Boop. There we go. Yep, perfect. Alright, so I'm going to find my knife. Make sure it's centered. Make sure I have enough for 2. I'm going to start there, I think. Yep. Alright, so same deal, just kind of walk your fingers down the template so the template doesn't move. And then bevel at a 45. Bevel your other edge at a 45. And release it. Alright. One more. Just enough space. Great. Great. Okay. If you wanted to use this template, you could also make little cute cups with this template. This template will make a really nice salt bowl, like I have next to my stove. A little salt bowl that I use when I'm cooking. A trinket dish. If you want to just make a little gift for somebody, it's cute. A little bowl. See, like that. A little cute bowl. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Alright, so that's my 6. And once again, I'm going to take this clay. I don't have a bag on me right now. I just have flat plastic, so spray it a little and wrap it up. We can use that later. And now we're going to start forming cups. So your serrated rib and either a rubber tip tool or one of these guys that has, this is called a potter's thumb. See that? It's a little different than the wooden knives we normally use. It's smaller. It's a sculpting tool. So we're going to use this one. Oops, sorry. We're going to use this guy right here. All right, assembling. I soften my edges. And I'm not going to make you watch me assemble all of these because, first of all, I'm going to get into camera. That would be good, right? I'm not going to make you watch my assembly line because you guys already know how to do this. So, I'm just going to show you the first couple. I'm going to score with water, of course. Maybe I should switch cameras. Bear with me here. Find my other camera. Oh, look at that. Lovely. Look at that. Okay, so let me get into view here. All right, so here we go. All I did was use my serrated rib with some water on it, and I'm going to get this edge into the middle of this one. So right into the middle. And support the inside. And then roll. Roll when supporting the inside, roll it. Make sure you have solid contact. Do the other side. These are easy to make because they're so small. Always get that top smoothed out, both directions. And then we're going to smooth that seam on the inside here. There you go. And I'm going to go in, smooth horizontally until I can't reach it anymore. Flip it. Continue smoothing horizontally. Smooth vertically as well. Make sure your top is on there well. I like to tack it on even more. Just make sure it's on secured. And then if you want to, you can take your rubber tip tool and make a line just to make sure that that seam is completely closed up. You don't have to do that part if you don't want to. There's cup number 1. I'm going to do one more with you guys, and then I won't bore you with watching me make 6 cups. Okay, here we go. That inside seam right to the center of the other seam. And you're supporting the inside while you're rolling across. Make sure your top is connected well. Give it a little flip. Do the same here. I'm going to turn it so you can see what I'm doing. There's my seam right there. And now I'm going to go inside and go horizontal. Horizontal, always supporting the outside, and vertical. Okay, so this part goes fairly quickly. Just make sure they're really well attached. Alright. There's 2 cups. Boom. Oh, I forgot to do the little seam. I can hardly even see that seam. There it is. You can emphasize the seam or not emphasize the seam. It's up to you. Just make sure it's really bound together so there's no air that's getting trapped in there, and that you definitely cannot see the seam on the inside. Like, you cannot see that seam. You don't want to see it. It's totally 100% smoothed out. All right, cool. All right, I'm just going to keep making cups.